Hi, everyone. You're watching White Mountains TV. I'm Chris Prue, I'm joined by Eric Wilbur of Boston.com and New England Ski Journal, and we're going to talk all things White Mountains right now. Thanks for joining us today, Eric.
No problem. Thanks, Chris. It's exciting.
First of all, you are in the Boston area, but you've been up to the White Mountains several times this summer. What's your overall impression of life in the White Mountains this summer? How has your experience been different in this summer of COVID?
You know, it's been interesting because your attractions are limited, but it has been a place to escape. And for my family, that's been great. We have a second home in Madison. And so it's always a great place to kind of go for some quiet, to escape the craziness of everything. Unfortunately, I think that's been the case for millions of people this year. And I think you obviously know the situation of the White Mountains right now with a lot of tourists just being completely disrespectful and trashing the place and, using it as a bathroom and leaving litter all over the place. It's terrible, and it's awful. And I think that more needs to be said about what an important, issue this is. That being said, when I've been to the White Mountains, it's been very, Conway and the Mount Washington Valley in particular, very vigilant with the mask wearing. For example, my family and I were at Cranmore, and we did the mountain coaster. And we were in line, and the attendant had a mask on, and the people in back of us came, and it was a mother and father and a son, no masks. The attendant was immediately on them saying, you have to wear a mask, so you have to get in a line. They refused. So he sent them walking. It was kind of a scene. And we applauded the attendant, because he did his job. He did exactly what he had to do. And he was concerned he was going to get, reprimanded by management. And it's like, no, you did the right thing. Do not worry about that. That's just one example of what I've seen from people in New Hampshire as far as understanding what we have to do to get past this. Yep. And, even on the way up, driving up that long road on 16, stopping at the grocery store and seeing people in back of me shed their masks and knowing they're from Massachusetts by the way they're talking about what they passed on the way up. It's like, no, because it's another state does not give you free rein. It doesn't mean that, the rules are off because you're now on vacation. So I think what New Hampshire is doing in terms of getting the word out and making sure people follow the rules very vigilantly has been good. And I think in the long run, it's really going to help us out, hopefully.
Yeah. How does that make you feel about the Mount Washington Valley? You mentioned the vigilance. I know our Chamber of Commerce and other local tourism agencies and the state itself have been very good about, promoting these precautions because it's really enabled New Hampshire as well as, a lot of northern New England to be a place to go this summer when other places were shut down. So how does that make you feel as a regular, visitor and someone who enjoys recreating in the White Mountains?
Great. Makes me feel great because it makes me know that, well, first of all, it means that the ski season is going to be a little bit more protected, which is, let's face it, our main focus here. Yeah. But it also makes me feel like, we're taking this seriously and we're not going to make it into a political issue. We understand that what we need to do is wear a mask. We need to stay away from each other, blah, blah, blah. The Valley in particular, I think has just been really good at it. I know that, Jackson, the town of Jackson, their PR people have been great about saying, look, here's some pictures and it's great, but stay away because we need to do this. Terry from Red Parker Pub has been phenomenal in her Facebook posts in basically laying on the line, like, this is the way it's going to be. If you don't like it, go elsewhere. Yeah. And I think a lot of that honesty has been really good in terms of getting people to understand. Now, the people in line at Cranmore, lost cause, right? I'm not sure what it's going to take to get them to understand. But the fact that someone like that is there and laying down the law, when I've got my 3 kids in line at the same time, concerned about who's breathing on whom, really means a lot to me. So that sort of understanding of the whole situation has been, really, really good up in the White Mountains this year.
Right. You mentioned ski season. We're going to talk about ski season a little bit in just a moment. But I think most of us understand that this is an ongoing trial. And I think the better we deal with this and the better we do, it's going to bode well for having an active ski season and not having the ski season shut down completely. So I think that's what is on a lot of our minds. We want to see this continue, and a little sacrifice here and there goes a long way to making that future a reality. What are some of the things that you've done this summer? What are your tips for someone who might be coming up to enjoy either late summer or early fall here in the White Mountains? What should they think about doing?
I think hiking is the safest sport you can do, right? You can get out in the mountains, you can be socially distant from each other. And it's important to understand the ramifications of that though, right? Like we've had a lot of novice hikers up in the White Mountains this year, which has led to the trashing. So I think if you're going to get out there and you're going to do stuff like that, if you're going to go to a place like Jackson Falls, which I did, which was a beautiful, beautiful morning. And side note there, that was a place where my parents wanted to go. We wanted to go with them. I was a little hesitant because am I contributing to the problem here by overcrowding a place like that? And luckily enough, Jackson Falls is about 8 parking spots, and that there's not much else you can do there. Things like that, like don't just park on the road if you can't find a spot. There's a reason why those cones are up there. There's a reason why people are telling you to go a different way. Follow the rules, and everyone can have a nice fall and hopefully lead it into a great winter. That's going to be very different, but still, I believe can happen.
And what's been your impression of the local businesses? You mentioned the staff at Cranmore. Local restaurants up here in the northern counties of New Hampshire have been able to open for business earlier than some of the counties in southern New Hampshire and even Massachusetts. What's been your experience, patronizing some of these local businesses?
Well, like I said, the Red Parker Pub, I think, has been great with their Facebook stuff. It's been entertaining to go on there and see like just the vigilance and we're all in this together, except for you people not following us. Then you're out. We've only been able to eat out a couple of times. Delaney's is always, as usual, their service is bar none. Doing takeout there at their new window was perfect. Jalisco, the Mexican restaurant in town, perfect situation. I think that, we had ice cream at the new Trick or Treat, I think it is. And again, great experience. And it's just that those dining experiences may be different, I don't know when the next time I'm going to be able to go belly up at the bar at Delaney's is. It may not happen for quite a time. Yep. But that doesn't mean that establishment's not going to be there and that we're not going to, go and enjoy the food and the ambiance that we've always had there.
Yeah, I know each time I enjoy something like that, I appreciate a little bit more the effort that it took to bring us something that we used to take for granted.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about winter. Are you getting excited for winter? The temperature's starting to get a little bit cooler. Fall is in the air. What are your thoughts on this upcoming winter? Do you think we're going to have a ski season?
It's funny. This has been a stranger off season than others because skiing has been on everyone's minds more than the normal, right? Usually it's about getting the right equipment or which pass you're going to buy. Now it's about getting the right equipment, which pass you're going to buy, and can I use it, which is the biggest question on all. I think, Vail just released their stipulations for the season where they're going to require reservations, including Epic Pass holders. I think that's a situation that had to happen, particularly when you think about crowded places like Stowe, just going to be totally overcrowded. I think places like Black in Jackson are going to be an interesting mountain to look at this year because obviously the social distancing is perfect there with the chairlifts that are, as old as can be. Terrain that's bar none, especially on a powder day. But it's not exactly an après scene there at Black Mountain. I think a place like that can thrive. Saddleback up in Maine, that's going to be resurrected this year, may also, again, that might be another place that can do really well. The places I'm really curious about, though, are, like the party places, Killington, maybe Loon, for instance. How are they going to do, and what is the attraction going to be in a place, Sunny River too, a place where known for such après scene? Because I think that's going to be gone, and I think maybe that will turn a lot of people off, which means maybe this will be a great year for skiing because it's going to be, skiers that are hard out there, not the party goers. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, especially in the Valley with Attitash and Wildcat, what Vail does. I mean, we've got their initial guidelines, but they're the company that went out first last March. I was at Okemo doing a piece last year, and we skied Saturday, and by Saturday night, the season was over.
Yep.
So it was that kind of immediacy which Vail did it with. And I wonder if they'll pull the plug again. They did in Australia and New Zealand with their properties. Something to watch there. Particularly, they already did it at Wildcat, right? They were going to open the chairlift for scenic views and then off like that. That's going to be a situation to watch. So, if you're using your Epic Pass, looking to go to Attach Wildcat, that's something to keep an eye on. Again, I think that's the black sheep.
Yep.
And that's not the right term to use, but that is the nugget in the valley that no one's paying attention to. I think they could have a huge year this year.
Yeah, I think there was a great demand for outdoor recreation this summer. Places like Great Glen Trails that rents mountain bikes and offers riding on maintained trails. They had a banner year. You mentioned Cranmore Mountain Resort and their new bike park. I know they had a great summer. So it'll be interesting to see if this carries over. I think there might be a new appetite for just being outdoors in this age of COVID, especially during the winter as we head more indoors, which is, of course, where we know the virus is most contagious.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were using at the mountains the summer as a test, see how that goes, and then look towards winter. I think what's happened is it's gotten pretty well. So I think that's something to take in heart and say, okay, the ski season is going to be different. I'm going to have to plan a lot differently than I normally would. And I'm not going to have, the roaring bachelor party that I had, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But it is going to be about getting out in the mountains. It is going to be about learning how to ski. And maybe that's going to mean a lot of newcomers too. That's great for the sport, right? Yeah. We're always looking for new people to ski because the business has to go up, up, up. So hopefully, fingers crossed, people want to get out in the mountains this year and understand the rules and can, learn to ski, and we can grow this sport at a time when it definitely needs it.
Yep, absolutely. That's one of the goals of Ski New Hampshire, the Mount Washington Valley Chamber of Commerce, and other organizations is getting new skiers into the sport, and this might be just the thing to help make that
right.
Eric Wilbur, anything else you want to say before we say goodbye?
Nope. Hope to be back up soon. Hope it snows, sooner than later.
I could use a couple more months anyway.
Yeah, well, maybe one. We'll give you one. Okay.
Eric Wilbur from Boston.com and New England Ski Journal. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great fall.
Thank you very much. You too.